All right. You want to talk about this Bandai Namco situation?
Yeah, so, and also let me pull up just this one thing here I have. So, it's been reported that Bandai Namco is cutting, well, cutting jobs, but also mostly, what's that's what I'm looking for here? It's canceling game development and also pausing game development for several games that have been under wrap for in the works, including ones that feature characters from anime like Naruto and One Piece, as well as a project commissioned by a Nintendo company. And additionally, it's reported that the Tokyo-based company is taking a traditionally Japanese approach to reducing staff and sending workers to rooms where they are given nothing to do, putting pressure on them to leave voluntarily. Now, I've got quite a few different things to say about this, but I'll definitely let you go ahead and start things off here first. Oh, also one thing, actually quick thing I'll say is because there was a Bloomberg article that was originally attached to, and of course that has a paywall, but I was able to quickly try to copy the text before the paywall went up, and said that out of the 200 employees that were sent to the empty rooms to do work, nearly 100 have already resigned so far. And they're expecting more people to leave in the coming months. So you can go ahead now. I just want to put that little bit of information there.
Yeah. Like obviously this must be a more or less common practice in Japan. I don't know. I don't know enough about Japanese culture apart from what I've learned from video games primarily, occasionally manga or anime, but um it's it is a definitely a weird thing culturally. I get what they're doing, obviously. They're just, instead of firing people, they're trying to get them to quit on their own, but wow. I mean, at that point, I'd say, I hope that those people brought like a Switch with them or something to play. Although then again, that would probably just give them the excuse to be fired, but I don't know. Um, of course, I'm curious about the game that they canceled that was a Nintendo project, or that was commissioned by Nintendo, like what that was. I mean, my guess is it couldn't have been anything big enough to, give them a reason to stay with it, but um, yeah, I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot of thoughts other than that. I mean, just it's a weird situation.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start off with the just a couple things with the game stuff. So I'm very surprised that that they would be canceling or delaying. Now, I initially thought, how could they cancel something? But maybe the Nintendo thing, as they said, it was possibly paused. So this could be something that they're putting off onto a back burner for right now to focus on other stuff. And I was also curious as to what the game could be. I mean, the only title that I know they had some sort of hand in or development with, and I don't even know what degree that was Smash Ultimate, and I think Smash for Wii U, they also helped out with that a little bit there. But so like I'm not certain what the game they could be making for them would be. But it's definitely weird that they would pause something like that, because I mean Nintendo is a big company to work with, so what could be happening that you would say we need to either pause or outright cancel the work we're doing with Nintendo? Like it just definitely seems weird. And also just on another hand, it just seems weird that they're canceling and or pausing games from larger anime titles like Naruto and One Piece. I mean, those are big titles. Like, it's not as if you're saying something like, I mean, granted, in Japan, this would be a bigger deal than over in the West, but I think it's called Captain Hayabusa or something like that, which is pretty much like a soccer series. So like I said, in Japan it's a bigger thing than over in the West, unless you're just like really into that. But for something like Naruto or One Piece, which are like huge titles and considered like one of the big three, it's rare that they're canceling stuff or pausing games development like for stuff like that. Which is, I mean, also those games have sold pretty decently, I would believe. So that's definitely weird. Now, as far as like the cultural stuff, I am aware of the sending employees to empty rooms to work, because part of it is the fact that with certain laws in Japan, like I think it's very frowned upon, and also like companies can get in trouble if they fire a large amount of employees. So if they directly fire them, it could put the companies in some sort of legal problems. But I do know, as far as with the firing process, the reason motivation behind that is because if you are not doing anything at work, it is frowned upon as if though you are not contributing in any way to the company. And so that is sort of like bringing shame upon you, even though you're still getting paid to, you know, be in that room. It's just frowned upon. And so that's why, you know, it's better if you, well, I don't want to say better, but it seemed as better if you just leave of your own volition than just like stay and be a burden, for lack of words. Although the crazy thing though is, because I also learned this in one of my cultural classes, is that if you are napping at your job, it's seen as a good thing, because people look at it and say, oh, you must be working so hard that, you know, you just need to get a little rest to keep working, which is weird. It's like you're sleeping and doing nothing, it seems as a good thing, but if you're conscious and not doing anything, it's a bad thing. But yeah, that aspect is definitely odd to me, and it's a real shame that, you know, they have to force people to quit in order, you know, so just to not have to fire them because they don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, it's definitely weird all around, and I definitely, though, like you, am very curious as to what this Nintendo game could be, because I'm definitely assuming it will be some sort of exclusive, so which makes it even more curious as to what it could be, because I doubt it's something like a game that was on other platforms and it's getting like a special edition port or something. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have.
Yeah, when you talk about, you know, this practice that they have in Japan, it just makes me think of Office Space, when they take I think Milton was the character's name, if I remember correctly. I might be remembering wrong. It's been a while since I watched it. And you know, first they fixed the glitch that he was getting paid even though he had been fired a long time ago. And so then they start like progressively moving him further away from where he started, until eventually he's down in the basement in a room with a bunch of boxes. It's just, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It is not a clean movie. It definitely has a lot of language in it, but it's really funny. And having worked in an office environment, I mean, I've never been in an office environment that was as bad as that, but it was still just like, I could still relate to a lot of the stuff related, I mean, with that, and it's, I don't know, it's just really funny.